Hi. Yewo. Farm CEOs. Welcome back. My name is Gilbert Mwale, and I'm so glad to have you joining in today. Well, today I was just thinking about something very simple, and that is the issue of when you are starting out your farming business, one of the first things you want to think about is really registering it as a business, because whether it is a sole proprietor or you are going to actually have it as a limited company, is that you still need to think about what you do on that, because if you're going to have good employees on your farm, is that they are going to be professionals, and if they're going to be professionals, you may need to give them their contract for their job. So you must have a name at least of your farm. So, give your farm something, Mwale Farms, or Seja Farms, whatever it is that comes to mind that will be accepted obviously by the local authority. That is what you get to call your farm. Having said that, you also, after registering your farm, now there are some of us who have not done that yet. You just running a farm without that, you will struggle to probably release a contract, obviously, because the question is that who's giving this contract. But number two, you also have another challenge. Farm professionals that you'll be getting would probably want to have a contract that comes with regulation paid for, things like pension scheme, as well as also what you would consider as the health insurance, and sometimes pay as you earn taxes. So all these things are usually required, and one can do some of these individually, but if they are employed, then it is just right that it is done by the employer. So I advise you that as you are beginning to think about starting that farm, make sure that you think about that as well, because some of these small little things can actually mean the difference whether you have a high turnover on your farm of employees. Now, turnover in this case, I simply mean when you bring people that are knowledgeable, educated, and professional, they don't stay. They hang around 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, they're gone. Is that they are not comfortable, obviously. They feel like they are not secure. Their job is not secure. Their families are not secure. I always love to draw attention to our own jobs where we work. Where if you think about, if you're working as an accountant at a firm somewhere, or anything else, or any other job, is that you, upon arrival, the first thing that you wanted to get was your contract, which showed your benefits and all. And the reason why you are not leaving the company where you are working right now sometimes is not that they pay you the biggest salary ever. Not really. It could just be that there are several other benefits that you get from your workplace that make you think twice. For some people, it's health insurance. For some people, it's their contribution to pension schemes that they are into. Others, it's the access to loan facilities, all such kind of things. You as a farm CEO need to start thinking about putting up such things on your farm for your farm workers. And if you are saying those guys wouldn't even care about this, then you need to question the kind of employees that you have on your farm, the kind of team. If they don't care about the things I'm saying right now, then you have got a team that is not likely to grow your farm, at least without huge headaches that you will be incurring. But if you're going to get a great team, that is, you're going to lean on, and they will remotely run your business even when you're not there, is that these people, you need to take care of these things. Now, I am always put into that issue, but I wanted to just talk about the fact that you need to register your business so that you can access some of these things. Another thing that you need to do is that if you're already registered and your company is already registered with PACRA, you use it for other kind of business. Let's say you just use it for transactions, but you have not registered for NAPSA or NIMA, which are the pension schemes. For those who have done this in Zambia, I advise you that you start dealing with that now, please make sure that you go on iCare or the NEMA website, register yourself as an employer, and begin to request for what is called exemption, or waivers. Write a letter to them, literally begging them to say, look, guys, I haven't been using this platform as much, or I didn't know how I should be doing this. I didn't know how to calculate. I didn't know all these things. But I'm about to start my business and I want to do it in a very formal way. They are very lenient. They understand your situation. I think the current government is trying to encourage more of these things. So reach out. I believe they would be able to understand. While on the other hand, if you don't do that, the day you have a real business transaction and you want to actually use that organization, these institutions have a good way of noticing, and once you enter their system for the first time, they'll run it back. They will roll everything back to the day that you started the business. So if it's 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, however many years it is, they will then hit you with penalties. You find yourself with 150, 200,000, 600,000 worth of penalties. So if you obviously need challenges, if you obviously need help around business registration and all these other regulations, you can always reach out and let's have a conversation over it. But the primary case for me is that whether you do it through me or us or anyone else out there, please start dealing with these things as a farm CEO. Your business needs to run properly so that you can be able to access opportunities. One of the powerful regulators that you would want to be involved in is ZPPA. Is that Zambia Procurement? I've forgotten what the other, ZPPA. Well, they are the procurement, office for the government, and all procurement activities that happen in the government mostly are done, through them. They need to be aware, at least, even if it's done by the local offices, but they need to be aware. They have a platform they have set up called EGP, and it's a very good tool where you can apply for bids and tenders. You can apply for tenders, by sending in bids. So you will not be able to participate if you don't have a business that has got, the right certificates that are issued by these institutions I've mentioned. So your farm can supply food to different institutions. People are always crying about market, but there is one of the opportunities. Now, obviously, we know the periods that government takes to do payments, but who knows? You may be dealing with a department that is faster, or you may have such a room. You always want to have, broken down income. Monthly, weekly income, daily income, monthly income, longer term income. Longer term income is obviously bigger money. So that's typically most government transactions. So I would actually advise you that you go ahead and register your business. Have it registered, with the necessary regulators, including ZPPA, for personal opportunities that may come from that. And you'll thank me later. All right. Thank you.